Bemsee outfit. Crow outfit. I'm not sure where they've got. We've got a green flag
back there.
Oh yeah. That was the one that retired yesterday. So that was parked at the side there, and doesn't look like it's going anywhere in a hurry at the moment as they streak away from the line. I do think that's a bit of a rookie outfit, to be fair. Yeah, it is. Rookie driver and passenger. So obviously a little bit of inexperience there. That is the Owen and Bardsley outfit. So rookie. The trouble with the sidecars is you don't get to really practice very much at all. It's not like you can do a track day or anything like that. It's really only the sessions with us.
Yeah, race meetings is the only place you can learn, isn't it?
Right, look at the commentary box windows, mate.
Yeah, look at that. We have rain.
We have rain, unfortunately. Not too heavy. And I think this is the most annoying rain at the end of the day, isn't it, Rick? Because if it's absolutely soaked, it's a tyre choice becomes stupidly easy.
This is the mental rain that they talk about.
Absolutely. And the trouble is, you're pulling 3 figures down the back straight and the rain is hitting your visor very hard. But actually, if you look at the tyre in front of you on somebody else's bike, you can see how much rain is actually coming off. That was always the joke for me. And actually, it's surprisingly little when it's like this, but your visor is absolutely covered. Obviously, the sidecars are not quite as badly affected. Obviously, they do run slicks, but they have a massive contact patch in relative terms. And if you're drifting a sidecar, it's not quite as scary as drifting a two-wheeled vehicle.
No, and it is easier to keep the heating, I would suggest, because you can work the tyres with less risk of going off the track.
So if we're looking out the front straight here, it looks relatively dry, doesn't it? So if you're looking to put some tyres on your bike, you're sitting there with the wheels out of your bike at the moment. Which way are you going to go? That's the problem. That is where it becomes a real drawback. I don't know if they've got the wet race board out at Collecting Error. I wouldn't be surprised, because they normally do call it, which means the tyre choice is completely free. You can run what you brung.
Well, if I was out there, I'd be looking at inters at the moment.
Yeah, I think definitely into weather. Keep a bit of adhesive and get the tread moving.
Bit of insurance, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Over the line there, Williams and Kolsch are not phased at all by the conditions. After the first flying lap, we will get a better idea of exactly how the conditions are. But the opening lap from Williams and Kolsch is a 2:08.3. So not super quick by their esteemed standards. I mean, they were doing sub 2 minutes yesterday, because that is the first flying lap. So plenty of time to catch up with there. And as soon as we speak, I think it's only the one window we've really got any moisture on, so hard to tell. It might be back a little bit.
Has stopped. It's not doing anything else. Difficulty with a big place like this is, what's it doing over there?
Yeah, no, honestly, I do remember here, once it was literally raining down at Nelson's bomb hole, whereas Richie's was completely dry.
Yeah,
I have been, probably the same meeting, I guess. But it does happen, unfortunately.
It was so much fun.
I hate that wet dry thing. No, give me a wet track, I'm in my element.
Wet or dry, not the bit in between.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Founds and Walmsley, Holden and Wilkes, Fayers and Fox, Atkinson and Middleton, Wakely and Hilditch, Holland and Stevens, Gibson and Gibson, Smith and Smith, Graham Muldoon, Thomas and Sigsworth, Curry and Pitt, Lambert and King, and Hanks and Kirk, and Bingham and Fairhurst are your top 15 over the line. F1 leads F2 at the very sharp end. But again, these guys are British and indeed international runners, so won't be scoring any points. As far as I'm aware, the leading club outfit will be the Fayers and Fox machine, and they are ahead of Wakely and Hilditch at this stage, but only by about 1.2 seconds, with Atkinson and Middleton in the middle there. So Wakely and Hilditch did a great job yesterday of overcoming any sort of handicap and dragged themselves back up to the top of the heap. Again, these sidecars have got 3 races today, because the first 4 races we're running today, they are the rerun races from yesterday, as Williams makes his way up the straight once again. This passenger tucked in tightly, moves himself out of the slipstream, leans right over the wheel, the driven wheel, trying to get some traction there. Walmsley does the same thing behind him.
Yeah, he's only 0.3 of a second off the best time of yesterday.
Yeah, that's
doesn't look like it's wet out there.
No, that definitely does not suggest a wet track whatsoever, does it? Yeah, 2 minutes, 2:05 for the guys. I mean, Williams and Kolsch are a class act there. So Luke Williams has done nothing except impress us from the first time we saw him getting to a sidecar. Already they're into the back parkers, that slower outfit. Fortunately, though, when somebody is that slow, they become very easy to pass, don't they? Even the short shoot from Hamilton.
Yeah, with a nice wide track like this as well. Yeah. You know, it's not like it's Cadwell Park and there's no room.
No, exactly. Cadwell Park, I remember once I did a Keith Code California Superbike School down there. I got told off for close passing on the back straight at Cadwell Park. And I did point out that if somebody's in the middle of the track, it's impossible not to pass them closely because you can't be 6 foot either side of them without being on the grass, basically. It seemed a bit strange, that one, but hey, there we go. Being told off on a racetrack. How unusual.
What do they know, mate?
What do they know? I'm a commentator. You know who I am. Where's my MBE?
I see what you did there.
And I imagine quite a few people listening did as well. Right. Where are we? 2 laps into the race as Williams and Coles make their way around Corums once again. Are they going to crack the magic 2-minute barrier? I wouldn't be surprised. Again, don't think we're going to be seeing any lap records today. The lap record of a 57.522 was set by Sam and Adam Christie last year. And the F2 outfit was set in the earlier meeting with 2:04.4. I think we did actually see that get broken yesterday, actually. Where are we? Pete Pounds, did a 2:03.6 for Pete Pounds yesterday. So there's another guy. He's a couple of seconds slower than he was yesterday, actually. So it gives an indication of how he's doing out there.
Yeah, that was a good enough time to put his F2 second on the grid, right next to the F1.
Yeah, of course, this is a track where you would think that the F1s definitely have a bit of an advantage. Though, as we were discussing yesterday, the changes to this track have made it less of a power circuit, haven't they?
Exactly right.
So you don't need the big herbs to get a good time in. Okay, here goes the battle of the F2s, actually.
Yeah, there's a great battle there.
That was Lambert and King leading Thomas and Sigurth and Curry and Pitt. And I think that could well be a club battle. Greg Lambert and Andy King in the chair. They're reigning champions here at the British Motorcycle Racing Club. Greg Lambert runs a sidecar school up north in I forget the name of the track, and I should know because I used to work for the guy who owns it. But he runs a sidecar school not just for passengers, for drivers and passengers. You can learn how to be a sidecar driver or a passenger. It's the only one of its kind in the world. He literally has people from all over the world coming over and learning how the tricks of the trade. And that's why we see a couple of outfits entered under his banner. It's people. I think that might be the case with the Owen and Barnsley outfit. I've got a feeling that they might be pupils of his. So yeah, and that's the same with he has different passengers on each day on Saturdays and Sundays. They swap around, and Greg Lambert really knows his stuff. And if you want to be, because anybody can learn to ride a bike. There's 1,000 bike riding schools to learn the basics, but racing a sidecar, so I'd love to give it a go. The big thing is, and this is why I had so much respect for Gary Smith when he won the Milano back in 2016, I think it was. Anyway, he was jumping off his ZX 400 Kawasaki, jumping into the sidecar, and the sidecar's got the brakes and the gears on the wrong side, and he'd have to quickly change his leathers because he needed different leathers to mend the sidecar. And when he had back-to-back races, it was a real kind of struggle sometimes. And obviously mentally, different outfits. Well, we talked about yesterday racing different kind of two-wheel machines, going from 2 to 3 wheels. That was a remarkable achievement. It really was.
Yeah, very impressive.
No, that's what got into Milano. It was well deserved. Right, waiting for Williams and Kolsch to come and join us once again. And right on cue, here they come around Corums, absolutely flying. Got a gap of 21.5 seconds. It's not so much a race for those guys. Right, that's Lambert and King over the line once again.
Yeah, and they definitely have. It's definitely not wet out there because they have actually gone faster than yesterday. Good spot there. So that wasn't Williams and Kolsch coming around, getting this outfit mixed up there. Yeah, they've done a 59.062. So. Yeah, that is, as you say, not a slow time. And Pounds and Worms have done a 2:04.222, not quite as quick as their lap yesterday, but that lap record was a remarkable time.
Interesting variety of engines in these machines as well. The R6 engine is rapidly going out of favour actually because they go bang all the time.
Oh, right. Okay.
And the other thing with the R6 engine is they used to be quite a cheap option because there's lots of wrecked R6s floating around.
Yeah.
Pick up an engine for a couple of £1,000 or so. Currently, an R6 engine is now going to set you back about $5,000 because they're in such demand. Yeah. So the Triumph 765 engine's quite popular.
Right.
Triumph Triple, I think that's what Fayers and Fox are using. We've seen all sorts of odd things. Dave Molyneux was trying to get people to use the KTM 950 engine, the twin.
Okay.
There's a few variations. Obviously, you can pretty much stick what you like. And there goes our leader over the line to claim another checker flag. I think he might have rolled off in that last lap somewhat, doing a 2:16. However, that shows you the sort of gap he had. He can suddenly lose 16 seconds, 17 seconds on a lap. In fact, no, he pulled a... Did they pull a 58.896 before?
Yeah.
On third lap? That's crazy. Anyway, Fayers and Fox win the club championship there, so they'll be happy with those 25 points, but right behind them is Wakely and Hilditch, only a second and a half behind, so that's 20 points, so that's even Stevens as far as club results go for the weekend. Pete Fowles and Jev Walmsley do finish in second place and take the overall F2 win. Graham Muldoon finish in fifth place overall, fourth of the F1s. They're ahead of Holland and Stevens, Gibson and Gibson, who finished second overall in the F2 challenge. Smith and Smith, then Lambert and King. Now, I'm not quite sure of the order, but I think that could be another win as far as the club championship goes to Greg Lambert and Andy King. Thomas and Sigworth, Hurry and Pitt are the next ones across the line. All those are on the F2 outfits. They're in that good little battle there with Lambert and King. Morphin Ryder come across the line in 12th place, another one of the F2 outfits. And we're just waiting for George Holden and Mark Wilkes in the chair to come across the line, which they fail miserably to do because it's Morphin Ryder, Hanks and Kirk, King and Miller all coming across.